Hello everyone, welcome to Compliance Weekly, 12th July 2023. I'll be sharing my screen and let's walk through the milestone board first. So the last one that we discussed in close was end-to-end test for instance level audit event streaming. The This one is audit event streaming update, moving delete and verification token to the list itself. So Lawrence worked on it, and it is uh, there are some UI changes related to audit event streaming in instance as well as group. So this was part of that. I don't have much information about it. The next one is follow-up update shared access tokens used to use the access tokens translation namespace. Anyone has any idea about it? It was done by Dimitri. I think let's move on to the next one. Fix spec coalitions and license component. Uh, when this from outside. So move compliance frameworks from settings to own menu item. Again, this for Camellia and there's no context around it over here. Audit event streaming HTTP header, empty status, again via Lauren.
Yeah, I think that one I have some idea. It was if you can open it, I can explain. Okay, yeah, so this is not the one. So we have two different issues.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying this is some other one. I mistake.
Okay. Got it. I think there was some kind of bug.
Yeah, there are two issues related to this header input field.
Okay. I think this one belongs to you. Add fields for GCP config to streaming form.
Yeah, so this is basically the front end part for the GCP configuration in which we are building a new form, and Nate worked on it. So uh, this was deployed, but we figured out there was a bug that whenever a private key is inserted using this form, there were uh, doubles. In the private key, there are \n, but when you insert it in the database, it goes as double backslash and then a single n. So I think Lawrence did a follow up on this for the front end part to handle the replaced all occurrences of double slash n with a single slash n, and now it's working fine. But I'm not sure if I think we still need to verify the whole issue now that we are inserting the fields correctly and the data is actually going to is actually streaming to the Google Cloud. So there is another issue which is private key input for GCP streaming form, which is still open. But yeah, MR is merged, and I think it can be moved to verification stage now.
Okay, great. There's one again from Lawrence, follow-up update for streaming event UI. I think there is again regarding some restructuring of the UI elements as they were mentioned around changing the headings and font size. There's one add check for author approved MR. I verified it, so I have some context around it. So Huzafa added compliance standards adherence check for author should not be able to approve the MR, and this deployed and verified too. Hasima, I think there's you are involved in
Yeah,
this.
this was a index which was no longer needed and used on events table. So first we removed it asynchronously and then I sent another MR to remove it synchronously, and both of them got merged and it's verified that the index is removed on production.
Uh, there are several issues in review. For me, most of my issues are in review, and I think they will be done by this milestone. Let's go to planning for compliance. First one is with Josefa. Should we continue with the ones that we are assigned to?
Yeah, makes sense.
Uh, so regarding the update for my Epic, uh, I'm going ahead with rolling out feature flag for it for UI as well as API. Apart from that, there are several follow-up issues in it. Also, follow-up issues regarding audit events being created for instance level destinations as well as headers and their event filters. Also, I'm adding APIs for creating listing and deleting streaming filters for instance level audit events. So that is work in progress. And MRs, most of the MRs are created and they are under review or are under development right now. Harsima?
Yeah, so on this, I'm still I still need to extract the SQL queries from the code base, but yeah, one update is there that we now have we now the GitLab code base now can connect with ClickHouse instance, and there was a MR with from Adam which recently got merged. So I'm trying to connect my GitLab code base with a local ClickHouse instance, and using that MR code, I will be able to read and write data from the database. So I'm trying to do that locally right now. So this is on track. I'm aiming to document all the queries by end of this.
Okay. And would you also like to talk about these two?
Yeah. So replace the drop-down selection for default brand. So there were two issues. One of them was completed, and another one is that there we need to check a sync between the old columns and the new columns. I think this is in verification right now. I think this is with you only, Hitesh. So once that issue is verified, I can start backfilling the data, basically migrating the old columns data to new column. But I figured out this can be done in the next milestone only because the sync part was just released in 16.2, and we will need to wait for one release before we can actually backfill the data. So this is on hold right now. And next one is streaming audit events to Google Cloud logging. So backend part was completed in 16.1 only, and we have front end part ready and deployed to production. Uh, we just need to verify the last issue where we were getting error on saving private key. So I'm pretty confident it should be done and closed by this week.
Okay. Regarding this one, since the instance scope is now merged, and I think that might have gotten deployed. The deploy is delayed because of the PCL that was there. So since there is unblocked, so I'll start working on it now. Mark?
Yeah, so I have got the next test ready. The group streaming audit events test is ready, but I haven't sent it for review yet because there's a problem with the instance audit events tests, and I'm still reviewing some test runs to see if the group audit event tests has the same problem. As you know, Tesh, we're working
Yeah.
on trying to figure out what's going wrong there. The events aren't streamed sometimes, as in GitLab doesn't emit them. So yeah, it could be a race condition of some sort. Hopefully we'll figure it out soon.
Yeah. I'm also looking into that too. So in case if there could be some edge case scenario because of which it is not getting triggered or some race condition, as I mentioned in the issue. Okay. And so now let's discuss about the OKR's progress. And since this is not the first weekly of the milestone, we are not going to review engineering dashboards. And since there's one more weekly left, so we are not going to talk about the release post. Coming to OKRs, I have an update that in the complete filtering of streaming audit events, OKR, the progress has moved to 57% from 53%. It was actually updated to 66%, but I had, so there are two epics involved in this. And I have broken down some of the issues which had a lot of weight. So the overall denominator increased, and hence this progress slow, but because of the issues in review, it will move ahead in this week itself. Anything else in OKR section? Anybody else wants to discuss about?
I think I had the same update regarding the OKR of audit event performance limit. I can probably paste the MR link here. So if anyone wants to go through it.
Okay. Uh, Regarding questions, so I was wondering, since we are getting a lot of uh, queries regarding different compliance features in Slack channel, so should we start a FAQ page for generic questions that we are being asked so that people can refer to it? Either it is the problem of the handbook or the documentation that we have, or either we can improve that, or we can create a simple list of questions on our handbook itself, documentation itself.
I can remember, but long time ago I read somewhere some issue or MR that we should not have FAQ pages because generally people don't search for FAQ.
Okay.
Yeah, if I find the issue, I will link it here. So basically, that was stating that if there is a certain question that you feel need to be answered, we should have a separate section or page for that particular question, but not a FAQ page.
Uh, any other thing that we need to discuss in FII question? Okay. Moving ahead to retro. So what went last week? What should we continue doing? What did not go well last week? What should we stop doing? It was not us on us, but GitLab went down on Friday. Uh, what can we improve on? What should we start doing? And any praises to teammates, counterparts? Okay. So there are two read-only sections that have been added. First one is J. Uh, he has suggested for an AI hackathon to be held uh, within compliance team. So I think it is a good idea. Any views, opinions on that? And you can always refer to the issue. And the second one is regarding the verification steps. So I have added one MR for adding as a suggestion that if the issue has multiple MRs associated with it, so sometimes it becomes difficult for the verifier to compile the list of all the steps that needs to be done. So instead of that, the issue assignee can actually add those steps by themselves for easing the verification process. Anything else anybody needs to discuss about? Okay, I think we are done. Thanks for joining the meeting. Bye.
Okay.